There are a lot of different companies that you can be working with within the music industry, and a lot of them will have very different views as to what they want. So I'm going to give a bit of a rundown mainly on record labels, but I'm going to give a bit of a rundown on what different companies will want from a band. More specifically, I'm kind of talking about the styling of a band, because, for example, a sync agency will... That being a company that takes music and pitches it to film producers, TV producers, that kind of thing. They take music and pitch it for TV, games, films, any media that isn't actually music. They, when pitching, will often pitch saying, this music sounds like this other music. So like, oh, we've got a band that sounds kind of like Coldplay. Oh, we've got a band that sounds kind of like Black Sabbath. They'll do that kind of thing because that's what music producers on films want. So they might be editing a scene and they might, in the background, have a David Bowie track. They're not going to use the David Bowie track. They don't have the license to use it, but they've just got it in there to kind of set the mood. It's that kind of feel that they want. So then when it comes to locking down the edit on the film and then looking for the actual soundtrack, they're looking for the songs that they are really going to use, they can then go to a sync agency and go, we want a song that sounds kind of like this song by David Bowie. In which case, they will have a list of songs that sound kind of like that song like David Bowie. Record labels want the exact opposite of that. I think a common view that people have in the music industry is, oh, we should do this. There is one way to do everything, and we should be doing that way. And that's not true at all. There's so many different marketing ways and PR things that you can do completely differently to everyone else, and it'll still be successful. And there's also two different ways of kind of being successful, by which I mean getting a big audience and selling a lot of your music, and getting your song played a lot into things like films and TV and stuff like a composer would. And both of those avenues that you might want to go down have very different ideas as to what your band should be like. If you're wanting a lot of sales and you want to get in with record labels and stuff, they want originality. We work at a record label. When we get sent so much music that we listen to and give feedback on and sign if it's music that we really want to work with. And the biggest thing that we look for, on top of, you're going to need bass, everything needs to be in tune, the song needs to be somewhat intelligible, like no like weird shit that's you can't understand, or generally we only work with artists that sing in English because we're in England. After you've got past all those like little basic things, the main thing that we look for is originality. We just want someone to do something different to what everyone else is doing. If you say as a band and it sounds exactly like Green Day, what are we going to do with that? We can't. There's not a great deal that we can do with it because it just sounds like Green Day. We've got Green Day already exists. If someone wants to listen to Green Day, they'll just listen to Green Day. Why would they listen to you? You're not bringing anything to the table. And that's what, as a record label, we are looking for. And this video, I suppose, was meant to be informative in a way that you probably haven't thought about that before, about like that there are two big ways of making it in music, and both avenues want different things from you. This video, I suppose, isn't meant to be like, you should start doing this, but it's worth thinking about more than anything, which is why it's an industry video and not a becoming a band video. It's because this doesn't really have a definitive, you should be doing this. If you're wanting to get into synchronization and get into making songs for film and TV and games, then it's worth thinking about, well, who gets synced into TV and film a lot? Like, for example, adverts. Royal Blood got synced into a lot of adverts when their first album launched. So it's worth thinking like, well, if I made music kind of like that, there's a high chance that within the next year there will be people looking for songs like that aren't that, because it's probably going to be way too expensive. Show them your music and you're good to go. That might be an avenue that you've not even thought about doing as a band. It's not the traditional make it sense. It's more of a, I suppose, somewhat of a new development, especially with the internet, because the internet allows you to get in touch with sync agencies and people who pitch for sync agencies. So from experience, companies that we've specifically worked with, we've worked with Centric Music, Def Disco and Leyland Music, all of which work with synchronization. And there will be companies in your area that work with sync agencies or are sync agencies, and if that's something that you're interested in, then definitely go for it, because there's a lot less artists that are specifically writing for TV and film, so you're going to be ahead anyway. It's just they've got higher standards than your average listener that might buy your record. Bit of a, I guess, mildly informative video that's a little bit different. We've got a song to choose.
Shit, we do. Oh.
We have a playlist song to choose. So for all of you that don't know, every single month me and Joe pick our favourite song from that month. It doesn't have to be released in that month, it just has to be our favourite song from that month. And we take those favourite songs and we add it to a playlist so that at the end of the year we have a playlist of 24 songs. And then at the end of the year you've got a playlist of music that we like and we've got a playlist of music that we like throughout the year, and we can look back on it and reflect and go, oh, my music taste is very varied. That was a more long-winded way that I've ever explained it.
That was a very long-winded way.
I'm going to pick Tired of You by Dead Buttons. Dead Buttons are a South Korean band. I think we were listening to it on the way home from work, and I don't know, I think I just chose to put that album on by Dead Buttons. I think subconsciously my mind was already thinking about South Korea because Joe's going next week, so...
Woo. Technically, I'll be here while you're watching this video.
Yeah, as this video goes out, Joe will be in South Korea. How is it?
It's alright, you know, it's not too bad.
Don't go north.
No, I shan't.
And you are like right at the top of South Korea as well, aren't you?
Yeah. I don't know what to have, you know.
You know, of all the people that you know,
Yeah.
you will have been the closest to Kim Jong-un.
Yeah, I will also be the
Or however you
furthest
say it,
away.
Kim Jong-un.
I will also be the furthest away that anyone I know has ever been.
From England.
Oh, good.
I hope you come back.
I don't know what song to pick, you know.
This may be the last Music Lab video with Joe in it. Literally any song I've written is your favourite song for this month.
Is it really?
Mm.
Ah. So,
Okay.
two-faced.
I'm going to write one right now.
Not it.
Sorry, that's my Coldplay song again.
Just fucking give it. Just give me Cheer Up London by Slaves.
Cheer Up London by Slaves.
That'll do.
That is just playlist song for this week and
This month.
for this month. Even though technically it's the beginning of today's the first day in October. God, this year's gone quick. See you next week. See you next week when Joe is actually back from South Korea. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.